Nigel Farage is heading for Brussels, and we're going with him. His goal is to get Britain out of the EU, and he's never been closer to it. On the way, though, a detour. He's an enthusiastic historian of World War I, and he's decided to take us to a German cemetery, which prompts the obvious question. Oh, Nigel Farage, here we are, evidence of what happens when Europe goes wrong, when countries go to war. Hasn't the EU at least helped to ensure that this doesn't happen again?
Well, you know, the EU thinks that the existence of nation-state is what has led to these terrible wars. But I would argue, actually, it's the lack of democracy within nation-state that led to these wars. And provided Europe has nation-states that are run democratically, we will never fight each other again.
But, I mean, isn't the lesson of the 20th century in Europe that you do need something a bit different because of these competing nation-states? And the European Union provides that framework to head off war like this.
I'm afraid you only have to look in the Balkans and what's happened in Yugoslavia to realise that if you artificially put people together, it's likely to cause trouble, not solve it.
Meanwhile, some sixth formers from Cumbria have appeared. They want his photo and seem to know who he is. They know who he is here as well. Nigel Farage has been a member of the European Parliament for 14 years. They still won't let us into the chamber, though.
Not possible.
Sorry. Last time you had 13 UKIP MEPs. 6 of them have gone. They've defected, they've left. I mean, that's not a great record, is it? 6 out of 13 no longer UKIP MEPs.
Well, we've been through a pretty ruthless procedure, and people effectively have been deselected and have been pushed, or they've jumped before they pushed.
So next time around, people are thinking maybe I'm going to vote for a UKIP MEP. They might well find within a couple of months that the person they've elected has pushed off or been expelled, has turned out to be not quite the person that they thought.
Well, I think that's less likely than it was years ago. Because
when you say years ago, it was only 2009, wasn't
And look
it?
how the party's changed since 2009.
In the corridors of the Parliament, he bumps into a Conservative MEP.
You are going to stop the British people giving a referendum.
David Cameron has said he will have a referendum on Europe. Ed Miliband has not. So Nigel Farage tells me his aim in these European elections is not to beat the Tories, but Labour.
The way to get a referendum is to beat the Labour Party on May the 22nd and to make Ed Miliband change his policy. If the two big parties go into a general election promising a referendum, there will be one. It's the Labour Party that we're really going to focus our resources and time on over the next few weeks. Hello. Hi, one sec.
And the polls say UKIP could win next month's European elections, but whatever happens on Europe, he's already set the agenda. Andy Bell, 5 News, Brussels.